Steeler Nation. Welcome to Strikers Inside Slants. Big news today. What we've been talking about on this show, thinking it was going to happen and hoping it was going to happen at the bye week. It took 3 extra weeks. Finally, we got a result that Steeler fans can finally cheer for offensively. Matt Canada's fired. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I know I've got a special friend here to talk about it with me, our contributor at SteelerNation.com, Zach Franciscus. Zach, how the heck have you been, my friend?
I've been good. I had 13 ulcers for a while, but now that I'm not, I'm back on the air with you.
I know, it's nice, right? It's been too long, my friend, but what were your first thoughts when you heard that Matt Canada was no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler coach?
It was joyful. It was appreciative of all the stuff that we had to go through to get to this point because it's been pretty wretched.
I know it's been a long, drawn out process. We know that the offense was the issue. We were pretty much like dead last or in the 30s and just about every single metric available going on. So it made zero sense to continue with wash, rinse, repeat with this guy because we all knew as fans of football, this guy wasn't playing to score touchdowns. This guy wasn't playing to move the ball down the field. This guy was coaching to manage down in distance. That's what high school coaches do. That's what college coaches do. That's not how you can expect to coach and win as an offensive coordinator in the NFL.
I completely agree. And what baffles me about Matt Canada in the first place is at college, he had one good year that he leveraged into a big contract at LSU. And he got his play calling duties taken away before the end of the season and was fired after 1 year at LSU. I never understood why we insisted on having him at a professional level.
It's baffling. Yeah, I mean, I saw some of the things he did decently in Pitt, some of the things he did decently at University of Maryland. We had some of those players that he did have from both of those spots. Miles Prescott also thanking the Browns for once. I love that take there, Miles. I know I've been popping some of you guys' stuff up while we're talking. Yeah, but this is absolutely like I had high hopes for him because he did a better job of pre-snap motion, confusing defenses on the college level, getting mismatches with that motion, getting mismatches with personnel. He essentially like stopped doing it. He'd do it in bursts here and there, nothing consistent. It seemed like the plays didn't set up other plays. And I think, honestly, the nail in the coffin was after that big 74-yard run by Warren. I think he ran the ball two more times the entire game. You at least have to go out and try to run like a play action with the kid. Like every time we were doing big runs, he never set that up for a play action. He always set it up for another run. We're going to keep running the ball until we get stopped in the backfield. And then we'll figure out something else once we get stopped in the backfield. Like that was him as a coach. He was unimaginative. He was not a chess player at all. He was not a strategist. He was not utilizing plays to set up other plays. He was not even using pass patterns to set up and get people open that we need to get these playmakers open. So, obviously, as Steeler fans, we have to be excited now about having a question mark over the status quo of these past 2 years, which was by far the worst offensive performance we've seen in recent memory as Steeler fans.
I absolutely agree. When you were watching Matt Canada, it felt like how I felt when I was 15 years old and playing Madden. I didn't see the whole game. I was seeing plays individually like, oh, this play will look good, but I was not thinking, oh, if I do this play, it can set up this play, and then this motion will set up like actual professional coordinators do. Matt Canada had these blinders on. And I know I just pounded on it in preseason and in the draft when we were on here, just I was worried that no matter how good our draft was, no matter how good Kenny was, that Matt Canada was going to be what it came down to.
Right.
And we haven't done anything close to this since 1941 was the last time the Steelers made any kind of in-season change, and that guy fired himself.
Right. It was the actual owner Bell, who was a part owner one
Yeah.
time. There was a year, I believe, where Rooney and Bell swapped teams. And I believe Bell was the owner of the Steelers for a year. Rooney was the owner of the Eagles for a year. They swapped back. Bell was a minority owner for a little bit, and then he left and just strictly did the Steelers. That was back when you could own multiple teams or have ownership stake in multiple teams, which would never happen nowadays. But absolutely insane. The last time we had an offense or coordinator or a coach that was fired, they fired themselves. And we're talking about the 1940s or 1930s when that happened.
Exactly. And what I like more than I love the firing, but I like the fact that we fired him and then it looked like our plan made sense. It wasn't we fired Canada and I guess this guy will take over. The guy in Kenny's helmet is going to be Sullivan, the guy he trusts, his quarterback coach. It's not going to be a guy who every time he hears his voice, you're going to go, God, what is this guy going to call? It'll be someone who at least he has some rapport with. And then the guy putting our game plan together is going to be a guy who he doubled our offense, our rushing game yard over the last 3 games. We were averaging 94 yards a game up until the last 3 games. 181 yards a game over the last 3 games rushing we're averaging.
Yeah. And that was a benefit and that was a bonus. And that was something that we expected was going to continue down. I think the nail in the coffin, though, was after we got that big. I mean, a majority of it, a good portion was that big run, but we were productive moving the football on the ground in the fourth quarter. We stopped doing it. And the nail in the coffin was definitely end game scenario where we had the ball under 2 minutes. Cleveland only had 2 timeouts. Run the football on first down. See your management, manage the clock. Try to do maybe a pass possession play, maybe a screen, maybe a swing, maybe a slant. On second down, keep that clock moving. 2 timeouts are going to be used. And then if you're down and distance is bad, run the ball, kick the ball, force them to go full field with under a minute to go on a rookie quarterback, which would have been a much better situation than them having to go 40 yards or 50 yards in a minute and 28 seconds with 2 timeouts. That was absolutely the worst game management since I've been clocking game management at the end of games for Tomlin. That is the worst failure that I've ever seen in game management of time and timeouts for the opponent to put them in a situation to fail, to at least get us to overtime to have a chance to win that game.
I agree, and my stepdad is a huge Browns fan, and even he was sitting there. He could not believe how inept we were. We took 14 seconds off the clock on that drive.
Right. Yep. 0 for 3, 3 incompletions.
And it didn't even feel that long. Like 14 seconds felt longer that we were on the field.
Right.
And it was. And oh, by the way, since we're talking about the rushing game, huge shout out to Najee Harris. I've been a huge Najee supporter ever since college, and the fact that what he said in the locker room. I don't know if you heard. I was listening to DK Sports this morning. He said that what Najee said had such a profound impact on the locker room and the people that it was one of those straws that broke the camel's back. When someone like Najee finally said, it's just the pauses and the brokenness, it had an impact.
Right.
So I'm proud of Najee for having that kind of impact, no matter what people have said about him this year, like, oh, we should trade him away, like Warren's better. He stuck his ground, and when we needed him to be a leader, he stepped up, and I'm proud of Najee for now. I want to see what this offense could do. We got what we wanted. We got the big Christmas present we wanted. Now we have to do something with it.
Yep. All right, we're going to go to the fans here. Robert C. Love this take. How could we survive this tragedy? I love that, Cooley. So does Kenny improve going forward? That's what we're all asking now. It's going to be Canada. We were like, is it Canada? Is it Kenny? Canada. There's some players open. We're missing wide open players. Is that Kenny's fault? Or is it Canada for not putting Kenny in a situation to be used to even looking downfield? I mean, how is this going to handle his mentality going forward? And what do you see out of Kenny Pickett here for the second half of the season, Zach?
I see us taking every single leash and chain off and pretty much sitting him down and saying, listen, Kenny, you're the guy. You're the guy for now. You're the guy for 2024. So go out there and ball. I don't care if you have 50 interceptions for the rest of this season. Throw the ball.
Right.
And then see what he does. Just say, have fun out. He has not been having fun. I have
Yeah.
seen football players have fun. That is not a man who is having fun on the football field.
No,
So
he was
that's what
not.
I would say. Just
Exactly.
ball out, throw it down the field. Because no other quarterback has done that. Even when Mitch was in there, I'm like, oh, Mitch is going to ball. Nope, Mitch didn't do it. So
Yep.
some quarterback, hopefully Kenny, has to go out there and ball.
Oh, I know. Yeah, good call. Miles, will we see the middle of the field being used? It's amazing. Like, I don't know about you, Zach, but I'm watching games and I'm seeing people hit a tight end in the seam, down the seam. I'm seeing people hit a wide receiver on a drag or a skinny post. And I'm like, holy crap, what is that? I haven't seen that in years, it feels like. I mean, I know we hit like early in the season, the two big plays. One was George Pickens on a skinny post. He had a touchdown. The other one was Austin on a skinny post as well, and he got a touchdown in our first two games of the season. Seems like we haven't gone back to that well the entire rest of the season, other than to salt the game 2 games ago where we had a chance to win it, but Miles Austin unfortunately blocked the cornerback when George Pickens caught that ball over the middle on the rub route where he rubbed a little too hard. But it was at least, it's like a trick play. It's like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. How do you defend that? Hitting right over the linebacker in front of the safety. What is that throw?
You know what? Back to what you said before, like whenever we had a play that worked, like the 74-yarder or a big play, it was like Canada was he was unable to call a good play after that. Let's like, well, that's my one good play for the game. I don't know, jet sweep.
Right. And it's like last game, we wouldn't have scored without that 74-yard ripoff by Warren. Like, we didn't sniff the freaking red zone the entire game. And that was it. That was the play that put us in position to at least win that game or have a chance to win that game, which was one play call, a one-off. Yeah, you have the ability to go to the house on any play called, and we did it on that play, but I didn't see any other plays written that even gave us a chance. We didn't even throw the ball into the end zone that entire game. I can't remember the last time I've seen a game where we didn't at least have a chance to throw a ball even into the end zone. Did not happen at all last week.
I agree. And what frustrated me even more is, fine, you don't want to hand the ball off to Jalen after that, or for some reason you can't, whatever. Build on that. There was not even another play that used the same formation or motion or a play action out of that. We didn't build at all on that success in any sense of it. So just frustrated across the board. Oh, that's my wife.
Hey, honey! She's on the show often. I love Honey Project. I don't know if it's you or your wife when you jump on at it. I'm always talking to you. I recognize you before. Guys, check out the Honey Project. Go get yourself some honey. Good people's over there.
It's just the fact that Canada's not here makes me wonder. And Tomlin said it like 8 times in his conference. Fluidity. Will we see fluidity in the offense now? And I'm hoping to see that.
Miles, I like this take here. Make Ben the new quarterback coach. Now, I'm not for making Ben an offensive coordinator. If he's interested in coming back as a quarterback coach, that is something I would allow Ben to do. It is, especially if Sully's going to be more play calling. I mean, I know his day-to-day is going to be still working with Kenny. He's still going to be quarterback coach. But it would be interesting to see if the Steelers try to bring somebody in like Leftwich or Ben Roethlisberger to help be either an offensive consultant or maybe a quarterback coach. That would be a really interesting way to kind of bring someone in soft, but I do hope they do for a hard launch search, the way that they search for head coaches, the way that they search for general managers, not just promote from within. We are going to go through a complete interview process. We're going to whittle down 20 different candidates into a 3 candidate, a 3. We're going to have a 3 interview process. Second round, we're going to get them down to about like 8. It's going to be like the Bachelorette right here on a freaking Pittsburgh Bachelorette for offensive coordinator. And then the last 3, and whichever one gets that black and gold bouquet of roses becomes the new offense coordinator. That's the way I want to see it done. Not promoting from within anymore. You know, unless this crazy combination of what Ian's saying, Mike Sullivan calling the plays, and Faulkner as the interim offensive coordinator, who has been an offensive coordinator in this league for 2 other teams. This is an interesting way to do it because Faulkner, I guess this is Faulkner's new. Like Sullivan has been. Which one has been the offensive coordinator for the 2 teams? Was it Sullivan or Faulkner?
Sullivan's been the offensive coordinator for the Giants.
Yeah, Giants and the Buccaneers, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why he's getting the play calling, and I think we're trying to boost up Faulkner and his ability for being not only a great running backs coach, but also showing he has some offensive acumen to kind of promoting him from within a little bit. So hopefully we get a promotion if he gets hired as an offensive coordinator. Steelers are going to get some draft picks for him as well. But if this strange conglomeration figures out a way to get the Steelers into the playoffs, winning maybe a game or 2 in the playoffs, this could be, then I wouldn't be as averse to keeping this intact. But for the main idea and direction for the next year and for Kenny's football health and development, obviously I want to see a offensive guru come in that is going to be playing to Kenny's strengths and develop him as a young franchise quarterback.
I agree. Now on the Mike Sullivan thing, really quick, I want to put aside something I read earlier. Mike DeFabo put out a tweet that said when Mike Sullivan was with the Giants in 2017, he took over play calling duties after week 5, and suddenly they plummeted to 13.6 a game, and it was I looked at the 2017 Giants. You want to define team dysfunction? It's the 2017 Giants. They had McAdoo as their coach, and OBJ was hurt. So if you hear stuff about Mike Sullivan not succeeding this year because of what he did with the Giants, just ignore that, because whoever's saying that does not actually want you to look deeper than the stats. They want the clicks. So Mike Sullivan is going to be fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the show, Zach. I really love your takes. I love the back and forth. Great job tonight. Tell everybody how to follow you and what's going on in your life currently, and what stuff Steeler related are you super into right now?
I am super into making sure my family knows the even keelness of being a Steeler fan and doesn't freak out one way or the other. That's my joy in life. I've always been the person that tells my family what's going on as a Steeler guy, but now writing for this wonderful group, I get to enjoy that responsibility even more. And you can follow me on Twitter at Black and Gold Cats, and the Honey Project you can follow anywhere and listen to all her songs. So you can do that too.
Freaking phenomenal. Thank you. Thank your wife. Love having you guys on the show. I'll be seeing you soon, my friend. And thank you for reaching out so I can at least get your input and pick your brain for the show.
Thank you, buddy. You have a great night, man.
You too. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right, guys, back to the show. Thank you so much to Zach. Can't wait to have him back on the show. But now, all your questions have been coming in here fast and furiously. I'm going to be rolling through them quickly now so we can start talking hardcore about how you guys feel about the team. Miles, he wasn't putting our players in the best position or in a position at all. I expect this to motivate our players and will be prepared. Exactly. Glad to hear no more Canada. Me as well, Yoder. Great to have you back on the show, my friend. Vicky Mansfield showing some love. Glad you're happy too, Vicky. I'm not sure how that is. If it's Vicky, let me know. And please let us know if you have any questions. Benjamin Bennett. The Steelers are going to win this Sunday in Cincinnati, 24-21. I would absolutely love that. Slants are not allowed. Jeez, if we would have hit frickin' DJ on that one slant, it would have been a touchdown. Yeah, that's the thing that we saw this week. Hopefully they'll be allowed now. Vicky, I can't find who our new offensive coordinator is now. Well, we have 2 of them now, Vicky. It is Mike Sullivan is calling the plays. And Faulkner, Mike Sullivan's our quarterback coach. He's going to call the plays. He was an offensive coordinator for 2 teams. And then Faulkner is now the interim offensive coordinator who's our running backs coach. So we have 2 people taking on the duties of Canada, which will probably be way better than what we had in the first place. And use Muth and Washington and tight end crosses over the middle. Please. Anything over the middle. Anything. Looks like a trick play. Teams running things over the middle. How do they do that? Miles, nail in the coffin was when we got the ball, 48. We couldn't march down the field and get in field goal range. We only needed 20 yards. Exactly. Yep, Venture. You got it, Bennett. Vicky, so happy that Canada is gone. We are as well. Kenny is going to improve. That is what we are all hoping, Vicky. Brian Davis. How you doing, Brian? I believe this will give the team a spark. The plays will remain the same, but emotions can make the difference. And the way the plays are called, building upon plays, showing a look, and then running something different out of that same look the next time you come up to the line of scrimmage. That's a great offensive coordinator does. It seems like they were just random, picked out of a hat, like the AI of a computer on Madden and on Rookie, throwing up plays, random willy-nilly, not making any sense. Got to do better. Got to be better. We will be better. Milo! I usually don't get excited after Steelers wins. Hearing the news today, I know, and this is a Steelers loss. This is the most excited I've ever been after a Steelers loss. We've been talking about this all season. We were hoping it was going to happen at the bye. Took a couple more weeks. Shouldn't have. We should have dumped them at the bye. We've been a much better team right now. Ian, last time I think we did tight end crosses with Miller and Gentry, I think when Ben was quarterback. Truth. Miles, Canada used 2 plays each game and beat those 2 plays into the ground, predictably killed us. Yeah, and every once in a while he threw in a jet sweep. It's me. Hey, honey. Michael Scott Joyner. Thoughts on getting Josh McDaniels for offensive coordinator? I don't know Josh McDaniels well enough yet, Michael Scott Joyner, so I don't have much of an opinion on that. I have an opinion on Byron Leftwich. He was a good offensive coordinator, won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. For some reason is unemployed. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Bring him in. He had, he can do some things. I think he might have done Winston's big year too. Miles Pressgrace, I would aim for a young coach who was in tune with the modern aim for the passing coordinator for the Dolphins. That would be a good person to bring in. That would be a good person to bring in, Miles. I would like that. We love this from Striker. Thank you, honey. We love this from you as well. I got to listen to your stuff. I'll start checking you out as well, honey. Thank you. Corey Frank, if our offense can score 3 touchdowns a game and 2 field goals, that equals 27 points a game. It's the freaking 6, 7, and 3 and outs, 6 and 7, 3 and outs that is killing us and burning our defense. I feel if we do this, I feel we can beat anybody right now, even if it's from running or passing. The run game is looking great right now. Just got to sustain drives and score points. Perfect take. I agree with that 100%, Corey. Nothing to add there. Kenneth Cole, let us know now. Let us go now. PS4F. There you go, Kenny. Striker fan Brian Brown. How you doing, my friend? Love you guys. Love you all, fam. Great to hear from you as always. Ian, maybe look at Georgia University offensive coordinator. If it's not available, call Ken Wisenhunt. I think Ken's time is done. I think he's got on with his life forward. But we always love our old girlfriends that gave us a good time. Bleed black and gold. Great to hear. There's no other way, Vicky. Kenny Pickett is awesome. I hope he is and shows how awesome he is now moving forward here, Benjamin, because that's what we need. Jay Nava, let's go get that W this week. National No More Canada Day. Yeah, we got to call this just a freaking like, it's like a new holiday for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's like Boxing Day for Canada, except we got to box up Canada and send them away. Had FedEx and come and pick them up. Tomlin was great too. This is the point I wanted to make. Nobody's been really talking about this yet. Tomlin called him in early. And he's like, okay, we're going to be talking about the game plan, what's going to go on. Tomlin fired him. It was Tomlin's decision and Tomlin's decision only. And if you watched the press conference, he stated it was only his decision. And when he was first asked about it, he was contrite and hurt that he had to make the difficult decision in firing a friend. Matt Canada is a great friend of Tomlin and a lifetime friend of Tomlin. This is something he never wanted to do, but for the good of the team, for the good of the offense, for the good of the development of his franchise quarterback that he drafted, a change had to be made. A hard decision had to be made. And Tomlin was the guy that we were all riding him for not firing Canada, finally stood up and fired Canada. So guys, Tomlin haters, got to show Tomlin some love on that move, albeit a little late, but still not late enough to miss the playoffs. We are still 6-4 with a lot of football to be played, 7 more games. Sky is the limit here with this team. Gerald Gonzalo, no one to blame. Let's go Pickett. Let's go indeed. Vicky, yes, Vicky, spelled just differently. Great, thank you, Vicky. I didn't know if it was the Italian pronunciation or the Italian Vici. Oh, you know the Vici, Vici Mansfield. Yeah, good to hear from you. No, but it's Vicky. Thank you very much, Vicky. Great. We appreciate it. Jay, tight end glory imminent. We had 2 great tight ends on this team, haven't been used this season. Unused, still fresh in the box. Benjamin Bennett, Kenny Pickett is going to be better. There's nowhere to go but up. He is at rock bottom. Kenny was probably involved in this as well. Zach mentioned Najee said it without saying it, but was a leader in saying it. They had a team meeting. I'm sure they told Tomlin the way they were feeling. Somebody did. And now, after the team meeting on Monday, Canada's back. Canada's gone. So it sounds like it was a team mutiny. Tomlin had to make the right decision. He made the tough decision as a friendship, but the right decision for his football team. Scott Ponswick, our fervent prayers have been answered. Finally, Scott. Frickin' finally. Stephanie, welcome to the show. Out with the old, in with the new. That's what I like to hear. Alito, welcome back. Hi, my friend. Let's go Steelers. Hello. Yeah, that's great, Alito. Great to see you again, my friend. Benjamin Bennett, with 2 coordinators, it's going to be better. I'm hoping it kind of lessens the load so it's not all thrown on one person, especially in an interim basis. Kind of given the one guy some experience where Sullivan already has the experience. So he's going to be able to do the game day stuff while the other guy develops the game plan with him. It's a win-win. It's 2 heads are better than one because that one head was a freaking nightmare. That bald head of Canada. Ian White. Well, they can't find one striker. You should be nominated. It will be a pressure situation since we're facing the Bengals. I hope we do far better now. We have to. Another rookie quarterback. Essentially, the Browns beat us last week playing Canada ball. They played the exact same ball game that the Pittsburgh Steelers played, which is small ball, down a distance, don't make mistakes, score more than the other team. Wait for the other team to make a mistake. And we made the mistake as a end of game management mistake. That was the mistake that lost the game for us last week. And they have to know in that situation, first down in that situation is a run. They're expecting you to pass in that situation. Should have been a run because the clock would have moved. Browns would have had to use a timeout. Now you have the Browns on their heels, forcing them knowing that they have to make timeouts because they know the Steelers are much better in the situational football usually that I've been watching them coach. They have not made a mistake like this that I can even remember. It was the worst game management I've ever seen at endgame when endgame was assured for the Steelers. We had all the time and possession, enough to at least get it down under a minute without any timeouts if we had to kick it back to the Browns, forcing them to go full field. I would have rather had that scenario. Scott, Mike Munchak, come on home. John Goins, I think it's a good decision to fire Canada. We all do, John. We all definitely do. Benjamin Bennett, the Steelers are going to be champions. Here's to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Toast to the Steelers. Not going to lie, I'm double fisting. Celebrating tonight with a good Pittsburgh beer. It's the new Mad Elf. They've got them in cans now. It's $30 a 12-pack, but man, it's a great Mad Elf this season. If you guys have drank Mad Elf in the past, this one is very cherry forward. Sometimes the cherry isn't as prominent. Great balance with the brown ale, the Belgian brown behind it. Belgian double. Fantastic beer. I splurged, not going to lie. It's expensive. I did it for my buddy's wake for his mother. and there's a couple left over. I'm enjoying one tonight. So cheers, Steeler Nation, to you, and cheers for one of our dreams that we've been praying for coming true. Cheers to you, Mike Canada. Don't hate you, but good luck to you in your life's work. Just glad you're not here. Alito, we know what it is. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. That's it, baby. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Ho, ho. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Ho, ho. I love that stuff. Robert DeBarrow, welcome to the show, Robert. Been a while, man. I wanted to hear what you thought of this. Guessing quarterback coach Mike Sullivan will be offensive coordinator. Is that confirmed? Actually, we have two offensive coordinators, Robert. Mike Sullivan, since he was a coordinator for two other teams, he is now he's going to be calling all of the plays on game day, but we are officially naming Eddie Faulkner, our running backs coach, as the offensive coordinator. It's going to be a team effort. It's going to be interesting to see because I don't think I've ever heard that done before, but they're going to work on the game plan together. Sullivan's going to be calling the plays on game day because he knows how to do it in the NFL. And, of course, Faulkner can learn from him in that respect. Robert, hi all, by the way. Of course, man. We're always happy to have you, Robert. You know that. You're part of the show. Ian, yep, I agree, Stryker. It hurts to watch the way Canada managed the game. Yeah, I mean, it was idiocy. Absolutely. And plus, like, we're watching big plays by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everyone in the room is going nuts around him. And he's like, why did Kenny call that audible? That's what it seemed like. That's what it seemed like. And if that was the actuality of what happened on that big play, Kenny should have called more damn audibles. Absolutely should have. Corey, is it possible that we may even see our offense and Kenny go up-tempo, no huddle? Kenny normally does good at a faster pace. He absolutely does, Corey, and I'm hoping so again. Because and the reason why we do, and a lot of our quarterbacks look really good in up-tempo, because that's pretty much all we do in preseason. We harp on 2-minute, we harp on red zone, we harp on goal line, all scoring situations. So we should be good at third down conversions. We should be good at converting in the red zone. We should be good at 2-minute drill because our quarterbacks are ready for it for games. So yes, great point there. We should see that as being a big improvement once we start going and rolling with that again. One Sizemore, welcome back to the show, my friend. Great day, great news. I know I'm late, but great news. Now pick it. Right. Hi, Miles and Robert. Yeah, we all love each other, man. Hey, Ian. Bring back Drunk Cope. Well, I'm already double fisting, so you get Drunk Stryker now. Jay Nava. Warren right now is in the zone. More play calls for him. Mix him in. Tight ends. Use all the wide receivers. Hopefully, good luck, KP. Let's go Steelers. We have all the talent in the world. I love our wide receiver talent, but it seems like just the way all the play calling has gone. Freiermuth has regressed. Washington can't even get started. Austin has regressed from preseason. Robinson can't get started. DJ isn't in any flow whatsoever, and neither is George Pickens. Najee's throwing himself at the line of scrimmage and working hard. Warren's throwing himself at the line of scrimmage and working hard as well. Those guys are the only two that were really doing it since we were committing more to the run. We're going to still continue to do some running and stuff now. So that's what we have to commit to and keep moving with that. So I have to see how it's going to work on moving forward, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Good luck, Kenny Pickett, indeed. Robert, Mike Sullivan didn't have much success when he was an offensive coordinator for another team, and given Tomlin's enormous resistance to making Mike Sullivan coach before now, is his only good quality that he's not Canada. And that's what we have to do. I mean, it is mid-season. I don't know. Like, I know you just joined the show. I recommended hiring an offensive consultant or another quarterback's coach. We threw around Ben Roethlisberger as an option, Byron Leftwich as an option. Anybody you can bring, but we want a full, no stone left unturned search for a great offensive coordinator next year. No more promoting from within. Done with it. If we got Khan and Weidel on this team, they should be like, nope, let's do an interview process. They can be part of the interview process, due diligence. Let's find the right person for the job. 10 people minimum need to be interviewed, in my opinion, for the next offensive coordinator position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cheers. Thanks, Jay. John, I think we need to get Byron Leftwich to be a offensive coordinator. I'm with you there, John. I love what he did in Tampa. Robert, Tomlin did not want to get rid of Canada because Matt helped Mike's kid, Dino, get his first college for Boston College. They were great friends. There's no question about it. If you watch the interview today, it hurt Tomlin to have to make the tough decision to fire a friend. But he did it, Robert. You got to give him some props for that. You've been saying he didn't have the nuts to do it. Fire Tomlin for that. He did it. Cheers. Reason Mike won't pull any great coaches is because Mike's ego insisted he loved more than any, that's an exact falsehood. Exact falsehood. He had 4 head coaches on his team, and none of them spoke up and said they could coach better than him. When we had Dick LeBeau, we had Munchak on staff, we had Arians as well, who became a great head coach. None of them said they could do that job better than the guy that was younger than them. So that's a misnomer. I cannot agree with that. Tomlin finally does the right thing. Some still got to bitch about it. Right. But still, I mean, we got to get the perspective from everyone. And that's why I love Tim Burr on the show as well. When Steelers have had coaches who the players love even more than Mike himself, such as Mike Munchak, Dick LeBeau, Bruce Arians, and John Mitchell, Tomlin has to move them on from them from being a Steelers coach. Tomlin didn't force the move on from Dick LeBeau. Dick LeBeau moved on his own accord. Mike Munchak wasn't forced out. He moved because his family was in Denver and had a new baby, so he wanted to be closer to his grandchild. Flat out. Arians was pushed out because Rudy was worried about Ben getting killed. Should not have moved on from him. I'm with that. I wish we would have kept him. Hell, I wish we would have kept Haley. John Mitchell should have remained assistant coach. Tomlin moved them twin office because players love John more than. I'm trying to remember. Oh, John Mitchell, he retired, man. He was on the team for like ever. You're calling that a push out? Holy crap. Let's go Steelers. John Gaines, hello. How are you doing tonight? Sorry, actually, I just came across your profile and just wanted to say hello, and I hope you don't mind. Not at all. Chanel Dom, welcome to the show. This is what it is. We talk every Tuesday at 8:30. Sometimes certain games where I'm home, I will go live post-game, especially on away games. And talk with you guys immediately after games, but put it down in your calendars. Tuesdays at 8:30. Bring your questions, bring your comments. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Steeler Nation. That's how all these people know when I'm going live. They get notifications. Subscribe to us. You know when we're live. Jump on, give your takes. We're happy to have you. Welcome to the team. Robert, Bruce Arians is loved by players more than they loved almost any other coach ever, including Tomlin. And Bruce was best friends with Ben, but Mike let him be bamboozled by Art II. Well, it was a decision they came to together. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if your boss tells you got to fire a coach? Not fire the coach? RT, this is a celebration, not a bitch. Well, you know, it always is a bitch about MT nights. Why I'm saying Byron Leftwich is because he is a Steeler. He used to play for us, know our system very well. Yeah, John. Yeah, we all love Lefty. I love Lefty. I have no idea why he isn't employed. Absolutely have no idea why he isn't employed. Don't get it. Don't get it at all. Mike Munchak called all the running plays in addition to being offensive line coach. And that's when the Steelers were running great, and their running stopped soon as Coach Munch left. Actually, statistically, the Steelers' running game was in the 20s when Mike Munchak was there. Just the blocking and him developing low-round blockers that got better as we got Le'Veon Bell after that was the biggest boons to these lines. And he was the person that laid the foundation for that offensive line, which I'm not going to take away from. Though I've never heard him being called as calling all the offensive plays for runnings for the runs. That's something the first time I've heard it. Hi, Benjamin. How you doing? Ian. Whatever happens the rest of the way this season, we need to go draft and pick up a center, inside linebacker, maybe another safety, and some depth if someone gets hurt. Spot on. I say center. I say a right tackle because we're going to have to replace Moore soon. It's going to be Moore's last year next year. It'd be smarter just to switch and flop Jones from right to left, and then have draft a right tackle, which you can get in second and third rounds, great right tackles, as opposed to the first round. We already have our first round left tackle on the roster. So that's the way I hope we do that. Dick LeBeau loved, like no other, in Tomlin's biggest success in the 2000s was keeping LeBeau. At the end, when they got rid of Dick LeBeau because his ego couldn't handle players, loved Dick more than Mike. Now, that's just I don't understand how you're saying that. If you can give us an issue that Mike is upset that people are loved more than him, which is why he has to fire people, when he knew that Dick LeBeau was already a head coach when he moved in there, told him, he's not going to leave until he's ready to leave, which was what happened. That's just something I just can't agree with. Stryker calls me personally to make sure I don't miss his show. That's how you get it. I also post over at the SteelerNation.com football forum every night where I'm going usually about an hour before I'm going to go live, just so everybody knows it's fresh in their mind. They can do something that night other than watch bad reality television. Vicky, wondering who is going to hire Canada now. Who is going to hire Canada? Maybe a Canadian football team. Good luck watching a 3-down offense wallow for down and distance. It'll be the first Canadian offense that will not allow their wide receivers to be running forward before the ball is snapped, because that is legal in Canadian football. He just won't do it. He'll have him running sideways. Jet sweeps. Now, coach. Hey there, hey, we got our new offensive coordinator, the Toronto Argonauts out there. They're going at it first down. Looks like they're lining up in a stock set there, and then there he goes, coming around the corner. Jets, he's tackled in the backfield, -5. We'll see what they're do here on second down, Hopefully he can make up that distance, Chuck E. Cheese. Cheers, Jay Dama. Don't know if anybody has seen Five Nights at Freddy's yet. I have, which makes that even funnier to me. Fun movie, fun little horror flick. It's more like goofy horror, but it's a fun one. And Burrow, Faulkner was not good running back coach at small North Carolina college. Tomlin got him. Well, you never know where you're going to get somebody, but our running backs are doing damn well right now, especially the last 3 weeks. Juan Sizemore. Love to see Leftwich Haley as coordinator. Haley was very good. I hate that he was left pushed out. Yes, he was. Yeah, and that doesn't make sense, Yeah, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but I think there's factors outside of just like being a productive Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator and not having a job. Why wouldn't that happen? You got to ask yourself some serious questions in those situations. Vicky, Steelers do not fire anyone, but this is history for the Steelers. And fortunately, Vicky, history was made because we needed it. We absolutely needed it tonight because that was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. What's going on now, Timburo? Faulkner is a much worse running backs coach than the coach we replaced him with, and he's just lucky he has self-motivated RBs because he has sucked as a running back coach. I don't know. He's developed Warren, an undrafted rookie free agent. I don't know if Najee's really taken a step back other than he hasn't really been fully utilized. I like to see at least that the running backs have been more utilized here the past 3 weeks. We've been well over 150 yards the past 3 weeks. Something that needs to continue. Ian, so you think Moore and Okafor are going to be out after the season? No, I don't think Moore is going to be out. I just think this is what you plan for. Moore is going to be out after next year. That's his contract. Okafor is also supposed to be out after next year, but if Okafor already lost, if Chooks already lost his job to Jones, we already talked about it on the show before. It makes sense to get rid of him because next year they save $8 million if they dump him as a cap casualty. And I think that's a move that the front office is going to make every time. Edward James. There's no more excuses for Kenny Pickett. This move will show if he can play or can't. He has 7 games to prove himself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Scott Punzi. I'll take the offensive coordinator job. Small schematic adjustments, play action, burn the middle of the field, play action, play to players' strengths. Give Jalen Warren a bigger part. I'll be celebrated for years to come. Definitely. Stairway to 7. Here we go. Here we go. Tomlin should never have hired Canada as quarterbacks coach. He did unthinkable and had no outside search for offensive coordinator when he made Canada OC. He's been 13 years now. It's way too late to give Tom. Well, you have to give him some. I didn't say all of it. You got to give him some because you've already been fire Canada, fire Tom. Tomlin's never going to fire his friend. Oh, Tomlin sucks. That's what you've always been saying to Burrow. Now he does it. You've got another narrative that Tomlin still sucks and won't state that he had to fire his friend to do it. Did Colombo make it very clear that he wanted to continue coaching with the Steelers and retire as a Steeler? He did not want to go. Colombo. Oh, LeBeau? I don't know. Yeah, I know that's what Tomlin at least said is they asked him, what is he going to do if Dick LeBeau has to come to him, ready to move on from football, and Tomlin said something to the effect that, I hope I'm not here to have to make that decision or something to that effect. I know I'm not thinking of it right. If anybody else remembers it exactly, please put it down. Abundance about Dick LeBeau, and those are his own words. He wants to retire a Steeler. He did not want to go Stryker. Quit telling fibs, brah. One down, bunch to go. There we go. George Cash Dollar, welcome to the show. 7-0, rest of the regular season. I'd love to see that, Robert, and we definitely have a chance to do it with the way our season is looking and the people we're going to see. Ian, true. Get some good trades for them. Exactly. Oh, sorry, Bennett. I forgot yours there. Steelers are playoff contenders. We definitely are. 6-4 with a big change. And guys, last time this happened, I can remember a big offensive coordinator change was when the Steelers beat the 2010 Baltimore Ravens with Charlie Batch as our head coach, and they decided not even to run the ball a single time with I think it was Ray Rice was their running back at the time. He had a big game in the first half, didn't run him at all in the second half. Weird. Fired Cam on the spot. Though, oddly enough, next 4 weeks, the Ravens went 1-3, limped into the playoffs, and then Joe Flacco had that magical run, probably the best statistical run by any quarterback, something like 11 touchdowns, no interceptions in 4 games, won a Super Bowl. Bam. Got some hardware. Absolutely got some hardware. To Burrow, day before Rooney did that, Mike Tomlin, who Bruce Arians considered a close personal friend, was told by Mike he's keeping him. And then when Art did that, Mike said he had to go on vacation and didn't help. Oh, Mike had to go on vacation? I have no idea. I have no idea how that one worked out. John Mitchell is the true black coach. Legend. Steelers have had both in Alabama and with the Steelers. He was loved, and Tomlin moved on to an office job his last few years. Yeah, because he's been doing that for decades. Guy's been a career coach. Mitchell was done. He's ready to get on with his life work, do other things, doesn't have to be on the sideline the whole time. Ian, I know it's probably a long shot, but maybe Harbaugh from Michigan. Only if we bring in Spygate. No one wants Harbaugh. Yeah, dude, I have an aversion. And unfortunately, I met a Michigan fan last weekend. I don't have anything against Michigan. I'm a Penn State fan. I have nothing against like colleges, their teams. Don't care. I'm very neutral to like when I was younger. Yeah, Michigan, like I really didn't care about them when they were winning. It was great. Wouldn't say I had a soft spot for them, but I definitely didn't hate Michigan. I hate Harbaughs, all of them. I think they're terrible human beings. I think they're front runners. I think they're cheaters. I think they're blamers. They don't take responsibility for their own actions. I don't respect any Harbaugh, and I hate Harbaugh. And I told the girl that I met, I'm like, yeah, I know you guys are kicking the crap out of my Penn State team. Don't have anything against Michigan or their fans or the state. Great things to say about all those things, or the great players that have come from those teams. But I cannot stand or respect Harbaugh at all. And she agreed with me. Like, we don't like him either. I'm like, you should get rid of him. Dump him. Ian, I know. I just had to throw it out there as a joke. I know, man. Love it. Love the joking with you, Ian. You know that. We're great friends. So I appreciate you adding more levity to our show. And guys, that's about all the time we have here on the show for the Let's Fire Matt Canada super spectacular edition of Strikers Inside Slant. Please come on over to SteelerNation.com. Be a member of the Football Forum. Check out the Terrible Tailgate. Come on over. We're going to have one up here December 3rd. Not sure who the player is going to be for that one, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. Probably be after next week's show. And also, please go over to youtube.com, subscribe to the Steeler Nation channel so you know when we're going to pop up. But obviously, Tuesdays Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. And usually after away games because I will be home and just go live after the away games. Oh, here we go, guys. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Robert, going to go drown my sorrows, man. Cheers to you, Robert. Great to have you on the show as always, Cooley, man. I'll see you over on the forum. There you go, Juan. There's a sense of hope for us now this season. Go Steelers. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Vicky. Hey, thank you so much. Tell your friends. Join the show Tuesdays at 8:30. I hope to see you again, Vicky. You've been a good part of the show today. So welcome to the show. Ian, have a good night, Striker. Go Steelers. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Jay. You have a good night as well. Just want to thank Coach T for the early Christmas present. Me as well. Happy Christmas. Merry Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you guys. Happy solstice. Whatever you guys celebrate, please celebrate it well. And we're here for it. Great show as always. Let's go Steelers. Thank you, Debbie Dickerson. Sorry I didn't get to hear much of your takes today, but good to see you're here tonight. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you all as well. Drive safely. Get back safely. Hope to see you soon. Appreciate your takes, Striker. Thank you, Scotty. I'll see you soon, my friend. Steelers better with John Mitchell at assistant head coach. Oh, dude, I loved John Mitchell as assistant head coach, too. I did. I absolutely love that. Coached against Nolan for Bill Cowher, made Tomlin his best, but he's still more than Tomlin, put him in an unwanted offensive job. But I'll tell you one thing, the smart reason to keep Mitchell as an assistant head coach meant that he could only be hired as a head coach in the league. And that's honestly what he deserved. I agree with you there. He was a great coach, could have been a good head coach in the league as well. Rick Kendricks coming in at the end of the show. Praise the Lord. I wake up 7 a.m. Pacific time with 31 missed texts, started screaming from bed like it was Christmas, and I was 8. Thank you for the last great take, Rick, to take us off the show. Guys, follow me on the Instagrams, Tickety Talks. X, as I think is the other thing it's called now, at SN Striker. I'll post one of these years. But until next time, I will be rooting along with you as always, my friends. Now with a skip in my step, feeling like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. Go